What up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is Monday, the 2nd, 2016. How are you doing? How was your weekend? We're in a brand new week. I hope this past weekend it was peaceful. But, I want to put this out bright and early. Well, it's, let me timestamp it. It's 8:45 in the morning. And some of y'all are starting a brand new week. And I'm gonna tell you what, y'all. This weekend for me was very eventful. Um, Not because of the physical, but it was more indirectly the emotional. Because yesterday morning, I had this feeling come over my spirit, and I knew it wasn't my energy. I knew it wasn't, and kind of like a fog, kind of, you know, just trying to come over, and I started to pray over it, and I was like, you know what? Okay, Lord, you make a way when there is no way, and I know there's something that you want me to be aware of. And I went and started my day and everything, and as I started my day, everything was great until halfway through. And the things that I was feeling were being revealed because there was a lot of negative energy in my environment. And I was feeling fear, unaddressed fear, something that had been sitting very covertly for the right time. But see, that's how the devil works, y'all. That's how the devil works. He's out lining the brush and he wants to catch you slipping. And I'm going to tell you what, some of y'all made decisions over the weekend thinking that it was all for your best interest, but in actuality, it was really not. It was for selfish. That's right. Let's call it a spade a spade. Some of y'all made decisions. Number one, to save face because you still have ego issues and some of your voices are not being heard. And it was like the last stand at the OK Corral sort of situation. There was a stalemate going on. And something occurred over the weekend that was impactful to everybody involved in your life, may it be on a direct or indirect reasoning. Some of y'all made a decision last week that you gone, you leaving. Enough's enough. And there's nothing wrong with making a decision to change environments, especially if there is no stability, there's no uh, foundation, or lastly, it's unsafe. Self preservation always should be adhered to first. There's nothing wrong with that. But I got a feeling, y'all, some of y'all are going to be dealing with this. You've got your rose-colored glasses on, and you think that the grass is greener on the other side because of what was interpreted in your ear. Mm-hmm. And some of y'all don't even realize that you're being set up for pain that ain't even yours. I know I'm talking to somebody. Mm-hmm. Because y'all, some of y'all realize that y'all want to use the title karmic. I keep telling you that's just a descriptive word. These are divine times. So the things and actions that the seeds that were planted long ago, the harvest is being revealed. Those efforts that were initiated, the fruits of those labors are being revealed, good or bad. And a lot of times it's more bad than good. But guess what? There will be good from that. The moment that you decide to ground your feet, the moment that you decide that your life matters. Because see, I got a feeling right now, some of y'all got that itch. Yeah, you do. You say it to yourself, well, you know what? If I just hold this down a little bit longer, I'll be able to act on this. And little do you know, the things that you were doing the things you were doing not only are going to show you that you disrespected yourself and that was a road you shouldn't have never embarked on, but what's going to also happen is the validation is going to come by your money. I know I'm talking to someone. I got this feeling in my heart right now. In my spirit, I feel sleeping with the enemy. Some of y'all thinking that because of what the campaign was to get your attention, as well as the actions that were shown, and you finally to go on ahead and say, okay, I'm going to act on this, and you thinking that the sacrifice that you're making, especially if some of y'all have kids, especially if you have children, I'm going to tell you what, if you leave the situation because of a whim and you are choosing to willfully destabilize your home for someone else, you're going to pay for that. I think that needs to go out to someone. I don't know. I got this feeling in my spirit that I'm not talking stay in a situation because it's conducive to the environment because of your children. Because if the environment is toxic, guess what? You are teaching them to be toxic. See, right now, y'all gonna see this. You got a lot of people running around with their hormones on their shoulders, and they got their track shoes tight. And they're saying, well, you know what? I'll just make this a sweet distraction. And then while I embrace this just real quick, then I'll go back home. But I'm going to tell you what, the home don't exist. Let me make that clear right now. Home don't exist because there was no love there. There was no love there because you don't love yourself. I'm saying this with all compassion and empathy. You think that because of the fact that you the breadwinner, you doing all the work outside the world, outside there in that world, but she's holding down your home, keeping it balanced. You think you can come out your mouth with your actions and there's no repercussions? You might as well go ahead and push them right. You might as well go ahead and push her in the arms of someone that's going to, you know what? You already know the end result on that, y'all. A sore throat and a sore back, a sore backside, and a whole lot of denial and pain and shame. And you know who's benefiting out of that distraction? The devil is. The devil is. Because there's going to be a season of ego and pride, and you're going to see a whole lot of this. Whole lot of this. Whole lot of this. She can't sit down because she can't keep her legs closed. She can't keep her legs closed because there's a hole in her heart, but she won't look at it. And she thinks that as long as I have someone on top of me, someone in my proximity, as long as I have a connection, it's worth the sacrifice. No, it's not. Who sold you that lie? I guarantee you, they don't have God in their life. See, right now, y'all, we are in a season where there's a power play going on and there's a lot of influence going on where those who do not see themselves, who do not see their worth, they're going to be acting brand new, and you're going to see it directly or indirectly in your life. You're going to be like, man, for real? Are you serious? And for those that are indirectly is brought in review, it's going to be a distraction from whatever endeavors you are doing right now. Wherever you are, you're going to be like, I don't need this on my doorstep right now. The devil's a liar. And it's going to cause you to make a decision. I'm going to say this. Whatever decision you decide to do first, before you act on it, you pray on it. Okay? Okay? Maybe there are going to be some things that you're going to see indirectly for your validation. That's why I keep telling you, y'all, people coming in your life, everything comes full circle because it's history. History is to be learned, not repeated, if it is not divinely willed by God. But see, we live in a world, in a society where people would like to more or less keep these on than ground their feet, because we're talking truth. You can't sit down at the table with someone if you're not willing to have an open conversation and dialogue. Because the opposite of that is called control. But if you don't know who you are, why does it surprise you? You don't know where you're going. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to understand what is being revealed to you when it is. Or better yet, to protect yourself from the things that you're not aware of because you're not grounding your feet. So, no, there's going to be a lot of bed sheets turned and wife swapping going on and choosy lover, because it's going to be a hot summer. And unfortunately, with the hot summer, there's going to be a lot of hot tempers. And with a lot of hot tempers, there's going to be a lot of senseless loss of life. But what about the babies, y'all? What about the babies? you feeling a certain kind of way because of the fact that you're their mother, but they don't respect you. I know I'm talking to somebody. You're their money, you're their mother, but they don't respect you. They don't respect you because they don't understand you. They don't understand you because you don't understand yourself, because you are falling into that habitual cycle of, instead of grounding my feet, I want someone to save me, even if the expense is my backside. I keep trying to tell you, I've been yelling this, take the price tag off your body. Did I not? Did I not say you need to love yourself? Did I not say it's time for you to come on home and see your worth? Did I not say it's time for you to embrace your emotions? Did I not say your life is priceless? Because some of you, unfortunately, and I'm going to pray for you, are getting ready to step into your greatest lesson. And that lesson will have shackles on it. May it be physically or spiritually. Because your deceiver is about to reveal themselves to you that are going to usher in a season of great pain. Great pain. And there are going to be many tears flowing from it, because you ain't going to be able to get away from these people for quite some time. They're going to be more or less your spiritual, physical captors. And they are going to indoctrinate you into a cycle that will force you to either tap into that fortitude, tap into your faith, or embrace your condition and become someone you fear. We're in that season, y'all. People this summer there are gonna be people this summer gonna wake up and they're gonna get news that, hey, your health ain't the way you thought it was. Or better yet, that stopwatch. Well, you might as well set the time on it, because that's all you got left. I know I'm talking to someone. See, until you stop lying to yourself, you won't know what time it is. Ain't nothing in them streets but destruction. My young kings and my young queens, let me tell you something. History is just exactly what it is. It is a measuring stick of time, of events that have occurred before you. To validate your worth means you must do the work. Your job is to learn from the mistakes of others. But if you do not have a spiritual connection with yourself through God, you will not understand the language of how it is being displayed. It doesn't matter what is found in your pocket. It doesn't matter the size of your breasts or the size of your hips. It does not matter. Those things are temporary. What matters most is that your mind, your heart, your spirit is one. Because when it is, you're at peace. There are going to be plenty of people showing you examples of what not to do. Take note. Learn from their mistakes. Don't compromise your self-worth. Have a relationship with God. Put him first before anything that you do. And he'll protect you from the things that you don't know, the things you don't see. Because I'm going to tell you what, y'all, around that corner, proverbially, is pain. Around that corner is despair. Around that corner, the devil lurks. And he's banking that you won't see it. You won't do the work. And guess what? Many people are going to be deceived. They're going to be deceived. That's why I always harp about you better check your friends. If your friends don't have a relationship with God first within themselves, they don't have a relationship with you because they don't have a relationship with themselves. And it's just a matter of time before the deception is revealed. And I think that some of y'all are seeing that now. It shouldn't take an act of Congress to speak your truth. It's your truth. It comes from your heart. It don't come from your brawn. It don't come from your materialistic connection to it. It don't matter. Don't matter. Can you sleep at peace at night? Do you have to look over your shoulder? Do you have to worry about the people you keep company with? That's what matters. And that's why so many people don't know their purpose. And since they don't know their purpose, they don't know where they're going. They're just floating through life, just like sheep. And the sad thing about it, there are people that are going to capitalize off of that because they know it. They know that you don't have a clue, and they're going to lead you the way they want you to eventually a dead end. And they're going to have their way with you. You know what happens to prideful people? They become statistics. They become poster childs of what not to do. That's not by coincidence. That's by free will. Because ain't nobody can make you do what you don't want to do. If home is where the heart is, why ain't you at home? Stop using rhetoric you don't know the meaning of. I know that needs to go out to somebody. Stop campaigning, I'm the victim, when you ain't putting forth the effort. Because don't you realize your circle? They know you. Your extension. They're an extension of your state of mind. So if they say, no, you just crazy. Look at their behavior. They're only doing what you let them get away with. So if they're not honoring that connection, if they're not telling you what you need, if they're not inspiring you, be the best you, they ain't your friend. They never were. You might as well be playing in garbage. Because what will happen is you will run out of excuses. You'll have to look at your lies. See, that's what I'm saying. People are in the season of becoming a track star and they just running from themselves, thinking that, you know, I'll just tell people what they want and what they need to hear, not what they need to know. But yet it's you that's suffering in silence. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this. You're not supposed to suffer to begin with. You was never supposed to been there. But God will bring you through it. See, most people that you see out there, people you see on TV, not all, but a majority of them, don't have a covenant with God. They got a covenant with the devil. They got good mouthpieces. And you know how? You know how you know? Because when the chips fall, they're never there for you. Why? Because they see you as disposable. And they try to justify their behavior. Well, it didn't kill you. It didn't kill you because the fact that divinely God got tired of seeing you weep at night. He got tired of watching you express your emotions in your car. You got to get in your car and drive away because you're so embarrassed to be yourself, to be, come on now. You feel a certain kind of way that you can't even embrace your emotions. You feel you're so inundated about what people will perceive you to be. That ain't living. That's not living your life. You giving your time and moments and efforts to someone that's got something over your head. That ain't your friend. That's your captor. I know I'm talking to someone. But you hear them do this all the time. Well, that's why I date older men. Because I ain't got time for these young boys. Like that's going to be, like that's going to make the scenario different. Well, there's something about older men. They're mature. Let me tell you something. And personally, if this applies to you, hey, you got to live your life. I don't. I'll pray for you though. But I don't have a respect for an older person pretty much being a predator over a younger person. That right there is the first example of not being yoked. What y'all got to talk about? Yeah, it's his benefit because you younger. You might make him feel younger physically. But all he's going to do is teach you his sexual habits and traits in the meanwhile of robbing you from your vitality. So you can turn around and do that to someone else. That is a habitual cycle. Which I got to talk about. His benefits and your backside. But the truth of the matter is, most women that go that route don't want to admit to themselves that there's a hole in their heart in the shape of their daddy. I know I'm talking to someone. The love that you desire will never be found by the cascades of men that are going to sleep with you. And there are going to be a lot of them. That's why most women don't want to admit how many sexual partners they've been with because they're ashamed of it. They're ashamed. They said that survey-wise, now this generation said the norm before a woman settles down, if she's sexually active by the time, say, 16, she's by the time she's in her 30s, she's already slept with over 60 people. Now, let's say each person, you're intimate with them 5 times. So right there, that's 195 moments with no love in it. So you'd imagine all that's going to do is take away from your genetic code, your DNA, your body, because that's DNA that you're mixing. That's spirit you're mixing. I'm not here trying to sound like your daddy. I know, but I am trying to wake somebody up. I got this feeling somebody has been in your ear. Somebody's been in your ear, and you like this. Sounds so good. He might be the one. She might be the one. I'm gonna ask you this. What's the rush? If you ground your feet, you'll see things that you don't know, things you need to know before you act on it. The two greatest gifts a person can give another person is their time and their validation. But if you're treating your body like you're playing spades, projecting books, you might renege, and that renege may hurt you. I got a feeling somebody is in a situation that is physically abusive and you're running out of makeup. You're tired of waking up with your joints hurting. And the person that is doing it is a punk. That's right, I said it. They're a punk because they lack communicational skills to express how they feel. So they use these. Some use these, but it's never in sync with this. And some of y'all are waking up to realize this. You should have never been there to begin with. And the bitter truth is, you know I'm telling the truth. Because if you wind back your life based on where you are compared to where you've been, look at all the disappointment between where you were and where you are, and you'll see a theme. You'll come to realize maybe that person that you were connected to at that time not only was your blessing, but spiritually, God put them in your life and was protecting you from the things you had to go through thus far. You're not supposed to be waking up disheveled. If your life feels like a pay to play, why are you there? They got you swinging through the chandeliers, but not one time will the words "I love you" fall from them lips. Why? Because they don't love themselves. Sure, you can recite the Kama Sutra book front to back. You have physically experienced every temptation known, but your heart is still empty. It does not justify the aches and pains that you feel the morning after, because that heart, yeah, you know that heart, that's because that's why you're breathing, because it's still pumping. But it's your spirit that's still there. God's love is still there. And the moment you finally humble yourself to come to talk to him, talk through your heart, things will fall in place. Some of y'all have bonds and connections that you see in your dreams that you wish, if you just had a moment, if you were able to be a fly on the wall, just to be in the room, just to see that person's presence undisturbed, you would take it, because you know that's what love looked like. But guess what? They were only a reflection of what should be inside you anyway. They were a illustration of what you need for yourself. But some of y'all know that too. You shouldn't be walking around scratching your head and saying, why he doesn't get me? He don't understand. All he like to do is be on top of me all the time and having me doing strange positions and stretching me out. But he don't take the time to hold my hand or go for a walk or ask me how my day was. He just want to grab his camera and paint my face. I know I'm talking to someone. That's not your end all be all. So who is playing themselves? All I'm saying is God got something better for you. But we must all do the work. Stop running from your pain, y'all. You got to stop. You got to stop. People say, well, you know what? You can't look at that because then that makes you weak. What makes you weak is not acknowledging it exists. It exists. That's why that, excuse my French, because, excuse me, Lord, now the man's talking out. That's why that bullshit you hear to get over someone is to get under someone is a lie. Because guess what? You open a spiritual door for someone that should have never heard you breathe so that they can add more burden, more distraction, more pain to your life. You think you're supposed to go through that? They ain't got time, Dave, to sit down for a cup of coffee. They ain't got time for you? But they got time to open their hand up and say, can I have? Can I have? Can I have? What's wrong with that? Hmm? Because the Jezebel spirit is real, y'all. Jezebel spirit is real. Jezebel spirit don't want to have nothing to do with love, because love is a representation of actions done by God. Remember, you ain't have to wake up this morning. Every time you wake up is nothing but a fulfillment of the promise of the things that you need to do for bringing the purpose of your existence out, not the size of your derriere. And that's why so many women nowadays, you got that resentment in your spirit because you compromised yourself and you jumped on the denial train. And you say, well, if I can't beat them, I might as well join them. But you weren't all the way sold. Just know this. No matter what you've seen, no matter where you've gone, These are all the bricks of your foundation, which will be your testimony. Each one teach one, y'all. You're not going to find that up on the dumb screen. You're not going to find that on this. They want you to fall on this instead of use this. They want that. That's why they keep promoting. Everybody get high. They don't want you to use that cognitive thought, critical thinking. They don't want that, because then you become a risk. They want you to play your position and fall in line. How about fall back in love with yourself? How about place God first? And let me make this clear. It don't matter how many people you've given that precious body to. Did you hear me? It don't matter what they did to you and how many times you did it. Don't matter. It don't matter what you gave up. It don't matter. What matters is you want to tap into your strength. You want to know what love really feels like. Then why don't you have the courage to finally forgive yourself for the choices you've made? I do one better. How about forgive those people that blatantly deceived you? You have to do that, because if not, that soul tie lives inside you. And ain't nothing worse for someone to be walking around in a burden, feeling a pain, having a remorse, and the person that has done it don't even give a damn and don't even know how you feel. I know I'm talking to someone. See, women are waking up, y'all, because kings, you are too. And I'm so proud of you. Because that makes you the exception to the rule. But I'm gonna prove my point. I said this almost what almost four years ago. I Back then there wasn't people out there talking about your crown. Nobody was talking about that. Nobody was talking about speak your truth. Nobody. Nobody was putting the work in. But I was. The hair business is taking a 30% drop because people are starting to wake up and seeing the beauty that is found within themselves. People are starting to have the courage to look within themselves, to take accountability for their choices. You know why? Because see, Gerald got love for you. It all started to that very first video I did. When was the last time you said you loved yourself? See, that guy was broken. But I knew then, the man that I'm destined to be, these are nothing but steps to get me there. But I knew I wasn't the only one that felt that way. So I had to speak my truth. There are plenty of things on social media. Social media has done exactly what I thought it would. And I've got countless poems and phrases all over the net. I don't ask for credit. because I know where it came from. I am nothing but a conduit for him. I am nothing but a servant to him. I am nothing without him. I'm just a messenger. Like Martin Luther King said, I just want to do God's will. That's it. I just want to make him happy. Because when my days are up, the beautiful thing is this internet right here, my generations will be able to say, that was my great grandfather. Look at his ears. Look at that chin. But look at his heart. Just got once said, all it takes is just one. I'm not going to give up on you. I'm not. I say my prayers. I start my day and end my day. I pray for y'all. Someone pray for me. You need to see your worth. I can't make you do it. You darn sure ain't gonna find it with another body on top of you, another stolen moment. Don't you realize the person that's gonna have the keys to the other side of your life is gonna be a spiritual person? So at a minimum, you gotta be prepared and have to do the work. So when they step into your life, because your life is gonna drastically change from night to day. But fools do foolish things, because this is what the devil wants. He wants to rob you of your vitality. So that's why he uses beauty and allure and temptation and lust. What do you think the word lust means? Phonetically, lust, living under spiritual temptation, fear, finally everything's a reality. When you should be embracing your life, living in favor every day. What is a man to inherit the earth at the price of his soul? Because there's going to come a time, y'all, you're going to have to make a choice. Like black sheep. You're going to get with this, you get with that. And some of y'all going to think that is where it's at, but it ain't going to be no coming back. Because you're not using your discernment. Y'all think I'll be beating y'all up. I love y'all. I want you to win. I want you to throw that W up, not the L. I want you to allow that beautiful smile to come out. You know when a person's happy, they smile, their eyes twinkle because they're at peace. You can't buy that. But people try every day. I see it all the time. You see a woman in a nice ride. She got this look on her face because she knows that's not what she should have been. And she realizes that's the price to be behind that steering wheel because she didn't earn it. She compromised for it. And see, that's the problem. A lot of people want to be saved, but the only person who can save you is him. It's him. Not the person in the dealership floor, not that real estate broker, not that financial planner. It's him. Not the person that you're rubbing elbows so you can get to that person. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I got this in my spirit right now, and I'm gonna shut up. Somebody, I feel your energy right now. You're saying, well, Gerald, I've had a lot of blessings come, and I see them, I able to possess them, and then they fall from me. And it's like a spin cycle in the washing machine. It's like Groundhog Day. You just want to wake up. Do you realize why you're seeing these things? Because God is trying to show you through the denial that you can have all those things if you do the work. These are nothing but potential things that can be acquired by your merits, not theirs. You can't go through life riding the coattails of someone else. You can't, because all that does is make you an official concubine. That's what that means. That's why anybody that marries for, you marry not for love, you marry for security, you're going to suffer. And guess what? You're not going to be respected because that person knows how they obtained you. They're going to treat you just like the articles of the things they possess because they've done the work. So they're not going to respect you. And when you decide to see your worth, they're going to pretty much throw you to the side because they have a starting five, just like many of you. So you can't have your forever if you don't plant the seed. But if your foundation is not level, it will grow not as it should. That tree will be wilted over. The roots will come out of the soil. That fruit will not be ripe. That's not your life. That's not your life. And ain't nothing worse to suffer in silence and have to admit to yourself that someone else is living your life. You know you're not supposed to be there, but you choose to be there. Why? Because you don't want to be honest with yourself. And I'll wrap this up because there's some deception going on. There's been some covert planning going on. Uh-huh. I feel it. Yeah. We in the season of people having the starting five. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna build me a man. He gonna have all these things. Let me tell you something. Why you think you building a man, you're building your pain. Because guess what? They're a mirror reflection of you. And if you don't have a relationship with God, guess what's happening? You're having a relationship with demons. And they're gonna turn around and rob you mind. They're gonna do a number on your body. They're gonna do some things to you that you wish this was a dream. But it doesn't have to be. And for those that are doing the work, let me warn you too. Hold fast. Keep your foundation. Speak your truth. Always place God first in everything you do and ask for protection, spiritual, divine protection. Because for you, my family, you're getting ready to enter a season where you're going to start seeing things indirectly. You're going to start having those epiphanies and those statements of validation where, I mean, you're going to see things so crystal clear and you're going to be like, man, if I had stayed on that path, that could have been my reality. You're going to see it. And some of it's going to be very uncomfortable because it ain't nothing more painful to see someone that you have a connection with. Let me tell you something. Because you because you say, I don't want to have nothing to do with you no more, and you go that way and I go, you're still tied to that person's spirit. Don't get it twisted. That's how it is. That's why you hear the term soulmate, but you never hear the term together. Soulmate, soul tie. Light, the darkness. The commonality is you. That's where that free will is. And this is going to be an epic summer. Some of y'all are going to go through your breakthrough. Some of y'all are going to come through your season. Some of you are going to be tested. And some of y'all are going to finally breathe. Finally exhale. Finally come on back home to you. There's no reward in running from yourself, but pain. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Listen here. You shouldn't be dreaming about a good night's sleep. You should be living it. But if you got a burden on your spirit, a burden on your heart, and every day feels like a gloomy day, like them chemtrails out here, check your ego, check your pride. That's what's holding you back from you. Not with them, because if they ain't walking with God, they don't need to hear you breathe anyway. And you have to finally admit it that they're not good for you. But you're not no good for them either, because you both are parallel. You're walking together for a reason, to see it. When you gonna let go of that depression? Why don't you go talk to somebody? You work a full-time job. Why? Because they say you crazy if you do. You're a fool if you don't. But see, guess what? That's how the devil works. That's also an illustration of misery loves company too. So they don't want you to be the best you. They want to watch you suffer. They want you to be impulsive. They want you to willfully barter your life. You see, you can't nip tuck that, queen. That breast lift is not going to make your self-esteem better. That butt lift is not going to make you whole. Have that connection. Have that conversation with God. Stop running from yourself. And guess what will happen? Your money will get right too. Love to hear from you. Be blessed.